Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What is going on here, man? Fantasyland, what? What's going on at Disneyland? We'll let you know as we take a complete tour around the park. We've got a fun new development at Indiana Jones, new food, park science, and lots more. This is our State of Disneyland report. This is Fresh Baked. Well, it's good to be back here at the Disneyland Resort after basically a week-long stay in Florida. Flew in yesterday morning, back in the parks today, and I am ready. I'm ready to see what the State of Disneyland is right now. I feel like I haven't been here for forever. I have no idea how to make this report again, but well, let's get started. Let's get down on the main street. Let's do a little vibe check. All right, let's take this ceremonial walk down these steps and see if I can't remember how to do a State of Disneyland report because, like I said, it feels like it's been a minute. I mean, it has, longer than usual. This is a Friday. I'm shooting this on a Friday afternoon. Is it 11:39? I'm shooting this on a Friday because I couldn't shoot it on Monday. I was in Florida at the time. So rather than wait till next Monday or till Monday, because I want to get back on track. So we're shooting this one on a Friday, and then I'm going to shoot State of DCA on Monday. So the look of and feel of things here are going to be a little different than we might expect, perhaps. But hi guys, how are you? Hey, what's up?
How we doing?
How you going? But I do think we're going to have a normal State of Disney report once I can get my head straight and figure out what I'm doing out here. Now this is a little bit more what I was expecting coming down Main Street. It was dead about 30 minutes ago when I walked through here. There was all kinds of space out here, but this is a little more lively out here. The vibe is good, the vibe is high, friendly. Obviously you guys can hear all the positive reinforcement that I'm getting as I make this walk down Main Street. But yeah, this is an energetic crowd. I'm feeling this quite a bit, and I have missed it. I have missed my home, my second home, Disneyland here. Hi guys, I am David. I am your host here of this State of Disneyland report, and what we're about to do is take you on a complete tour of the entire park. Every land and attraction. We're going to talk about what's new, what's going on out there. We're going to do a little park science, something that we're known for, being able to examine queues and try to figure out if we should be getting in it or not, a go, no go kind of situation. And just try to pick up the vibe and see how things are going out here in Disneyland on this July day, which I expect, as I mentioned, to be a little bit low key. There you go, that is Main Street at 11:41. This feels real good. This feels real good. And there's a reason for that, I think at least. Let's actually talk about that. We're gonna go back up to Town Square, back to the Disneyland Railroad Station, take a look at the reservation calendar and see if we can figure out if that has anything to do with what we're about to experience here in the park. Now, this review of the reservation calendar is going to be kind of a breeze because there's really not a lot to talk about. Well, there are things to talk about. We'll start with the single day ticket calendar, wide open. Obviously, we're on Tier 5 today, 196. Tier 5, 196. Calendar's wide open, has been most days for years now, a couple years now. God, has it really been that long? Okay, so it's pretty clear, July and August, wide open. Let's get into the Inspire Key. And this is where the fun begins because July is a peach, man. There's not a single sold out day in July. Today you can walk into the park today, no big deal, as an Inspire Key holder, same for Believe, obviously. And even, which is a little bit more interesting, they're still wide open for the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th, the 3 days that people are, probably gonna be here for the opening of the Walt show here at the Main Street Opera House. I would have expected the 19th and the 20th even to have some limited availability, but it is wide open. It was more booked 2 months ago than it is right now for that date range. You couldn't get a reservation for the 17th for a very long time, but that is wide open. And if we go into August, again, completely wide open. Now, before we get too excited and think, gosh, it sounds like maybe Disney's moving ahead, they're starting to make things more available. This is almost exactly how things were. We did this report a year ago to the day almost, the State of Disneyland report, and that's exactly how the calendar looked, except August. There were 3 sold out dates in August, if I recall. 3 sold out dates in August last year, none this year. So there is that possibility that maybe Disney's starting to like be a little bit more, they're allowing more guests to make reservations. I don't remember if they were selling Magic Keys at this point, but that's something we'll talk about as well. But the reasons for this are more due to the fact that the single day ticket is $196, and because Enchant and Imagine Keys are blocked out, and they will be for the duration of the summer. And that's the reason why it was like this last year, and why we're gonna find. I took a quick peek down the Main Street. It looks pretty quiet out there. It looks pretty dead. We haven't looked at the tip board yet, but Main Street was just almost wide open. I have never seen such a clear Main Street. Here comes the Disneyland band. That's our cue. Let's get back to work out there. So the table is set for our afternoon. As I mentioned, it's been a little while. I've been able to keep up with the Disneyland news, so we're gonna see if we can figure out what's going on out there. There's one bit of news that I want to cover today, which we'll be going to first in Adventureland. But after that, it's going to be a day of discovery and science, and I'm really looking forward to getting back on track here at the Disneyland Resort. What a beautiful, beautiful day it is, by the way. It is 74 degrees, not the least bit humid. Yay! Reminds me of why we choose to live here in California, in Southern California, because this weather is the absolute best. Even though I like seeing those surprise storms in Florida, man, this is nice. Just a real cool breezy day here. Let's get started. Let's get into Adventureland. Tiki Room back online once again, fully operational, including new life falling from the Tangaroa tree. It's amazing. This feels real quiet right here. Look at that. Okay. Right? There are times when I fear for my life walking through this space. I'll take this. Absolutely. This is lovely for Adventureland. Lovely. It's gone.
It's got a 50-foot distance. I didn't know.
Shall we start at the Jungle Cruise? I believe we shall. I see nobody upstairs at all, neither the left or the right. Wow. Nobody upstairs at all. And yeah, that's reconciling with a 10-minute wait here at the Jungle Cruise. That is a great start. This looks, you walk by this, you're like, oh no, the queue. Yeah, but no. Nothing up there, nothing up there. That is an absolute beauty of a start if you're going to Jungle Cruise. Meanwhile, next door we have a posted 50 minutes at Indiana Jones Adventure, which is standard, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna go ahead and call it, just looking at what I'm seeing here, that it's not 50. It's gonna be considerably less than that. I bet you we're gonna see maybe a 3/4 full queue in the rear. So let's go head back there real quick. Oh, that's actually way full. I was wrong. It felt super light out there, but this queue is pretty much full. It's all the way to the bottles. That's a benchmark for us. That constitutes a full queue if it's to the bottles for me. So this, I mean, it's still not going to be 50. I still, I'm seeing movement out in the queue. It doesn't look like it's very sticky right now. It's kind of fluid. So you're looking at probably 20, 25 minutes tops to get to the ramp, and then you're in like Flynn. Maybe that's like a 35, 40 minute queue. The great part about trying to determine, whether Indiana Jones is a go or no go is that your entire decision is based on simply what you see out here in this space. You don't have to know what's going on inside. Even though there's a whole bunch of queue, inside the temple, you don't have to worry about that because it's always the same every single time. It's going to take you about 12, 15 minutes to get through there because the mix point is right there at the temple entrance, right? So all you're trying to do when you're trying to figure out if you should get in a queue is how, what's the competition like with Lightning Lane? And you can see it happening here. So when I see this, I see this movement out here and I see hardly anybody in Lightning Lane. That looks to me like about a 35-minute queue. I mentioned a little bit ago we may have some news about Indiana Jones Adventure. They are testing right now bringing back single rider to Indiana Jones, which is something that people have long been asking for. They've had it in years past. They take it. It's been back and forth. They have it, then they take it down, then they bring it back, and then it's been gone. It's been down. There's been no single rider here at Indiana Jones Adventure for a few years now. The last time that I enjoyed single rider here at Indiana Jones, the guests would go in through the exit, the way where we just went to go look at the queue. You would go in that route. They would give you a little piece of paper to say you're single rider, and you would take that all the way to the stairs. But you wouldn't take the stairs. You would take the elevator. Take the elevator over where the ride vehicles, and then drop you off on the other side where you get mixed in with standby. That's how they used to do it in years past. They're working on or testing a different method. They are going to still send guests through the exit here. They're going to give you a lanyard, actually, where they used to give you just like a little piece of paper, a laminated piece of paper. It's a big lanyard that you hang around your neck to make sure that you are noticeable as a single rider guest. But they're going to send you into the exit and then mix you at the same place where they do the ADA mix at their where the well is, and then they're going to send those single riders down on that lane to the right at the film room. Instead of doing the zigzags, you're going to go down that lane on the right to the film room, and they send them in batches. They mix you in batches in between groups of standby. It'll be like a group of standby of 30 guests or whatever, then 10 single riders, and then standby again. And then you take the bridge over just like you would as a standby guest. I would show you, as a matter of fact, how that works, but presently they are not, single rider's not available to guests right now. They may open it up later this afternoon. It's still in a testing phase, so they open it up for like 5 or 6 hours, and they analyze the data, etc. And then in about a week or so, they're gonna end the program, they're gonna end the test, and then analyze that data or whatever, and then try to figure out or decide if they want to keep it permanently, not have it at all, or modify it. By the way, check this out. We were just here 10 minutes ago. This thing was full. That's how efficient Indiana Jones can be. It's crazy how efficient this attraction is. They can just move so many guests. This is the queue that I was expecting to find when we first walked up. But here we are now, just a few minutes later, it happens just like that. It happens, and then people will see a posted wait time out there of 35 minutes, which I bet is what they have it at now, and they'll jump back in. The idea is to get into this queue when it says 50 but looks like this. But they're going to put 35 out there, and then people are going to be like, "Oh, hey, it's time to get on Indiana Jones." And that queue, it's very elastic. Indiana Jones is. It expands and contracts. Expands and contracts like no other attraction. Whew, that was fun. Okay, we're going to probably try to come back here later this afternoon if I can A, remember, and 2, if it's still going, and try to do a demo of that of the single rider. Speaking of go situations, we're going to take this show further on into New Orleans Square to check out Pirates of the Caribbean. But look at this. We don't even have to go very far. I don't even have to look at the entrance. They don't even have ropes up. Not only are there no guests on the bridge, which is a clue that there's not a long wait. If there's no guests on this bridge, it's not a long wait. But not only that, but there's not even ropes. They're not even trying. They're not even expecting there to be a lot of guests out here in this space. I had predicted that this, the standby only, getting rid of Lightning Lane would have a tremendous beneficial effect on the traffic out here on the bridge and across the way into New Orleans Square, and that certainly does seem to be the case. Although today is not, again, it's not the busiest day that we're going to see here in the park, but I mean, this is just, there's the whole queue right there. Look at that. They've got these ropes set up, but that's it. This is a virtual walk-on. I would say the actual time here, you're gonna wait maybe, if you saw a previous video on this, you're gonna wait maybe 7 or 8 or 9 minutes in that queue proper in there, and then maybe 2 or 3 minutes out here, plus 5 3 when you cross the threshold. So you're looking at maybe 12 to 15 minutes for this queue right now. And Disney seems to agree-ish. They've got 20 minutes posted right now, and this is just an absolute dream. This is the way that Pirates of the Caribbean should be. Now, the reason why this is so important to me, why I'm so excited about it, look at that, the queue is just empty now. The reason why why it's important to me, why I'm excited, is because Disney has been, drifting further and further into making the park available to the few as opposed to the many, which I understand. They want to make money, and if you're selling Lightning Lane, then you should be giving them value. You should be doing as much as you can for that guest who's paying $36, which is what it costs today to get. You remember when it started at $15? It wasn't that long ago. It was $15. It's $36 today. And I get it. I get it. You want to get your $36 worth. But this park is also filled with other people who aren't buying that. And I don't want to make every attraction standby, even though that would make every attraction better. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this for everyone. We just give us a small break. Give us one. A standby guest needs an emergency attraction. There needs to be relief, a place to go that you can say, okay, I don't know what I'm doing right now, and I don't have Lightning Lane, and I don't want to wait an hour, or whatever for this attraction or the other. You need an attraction that is just like, okay, this is not so bad. I can take a break, and it's a relief for that standby guest. This is why DCA is such a grind. On a busy day, DCA is virtually impossible to navigate because every single attraction pretty much is on Lightning Lane, and if you don't have it, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. The only break you ever had was like Little Mermaid. That was a break, but then they put that on Lightning Lane, but it's still not so bad. But I mean, and that what? Silly Symphony, Golden Zephyr, Mater's, yes. But every other like almost all of them are Lightning Lane. You need attractions like this where besides Fantasyland, you need attractions that are a nice break. Jungle Cruise is another one, right? So I really appreciate that in doing this. This is a move for every guest. Every guest benefits by this, not just standby. Lightning Lane, you're not waiting. You're not waiting, right? You're gonna walk right in there. It's gonna be great. I am so happy that they did this. And I hope that they're able to do the same thing for Little Mermaid. And you know what, like I said in the last State of DCA report, turn it off on Monsters, Inc. while it's still open and give us a break. And with that, you guys, we are 3 for 3 as we start this State of Disneyland report. Here we go. Here's some more empty space out here. Look at that. 3 for 3. Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones, and Pirates, all just a dreamy situation.
That's my dad.
Wow, and this wide open right here. No traffic out here, cluttering things up. This could get absolutely diabolical. When when it was even remotely busy, you would have these two switchbacks full, and then if they weren't ready, it would come out here into the lane out here, and then it would just totally wreak havoc on the guests walking through this path, walking through New Orleans Square. And now it's no problem whatsoever. You can go through here, and you've got, it's like 10 shoulders wide. Absolute dream. Let's keep going to New Orleans Square because we have a development that we talked about in our last construction report that seems a little confounding, but I have good logic on this, I think. Right next to Royal Street Veranda, we have Port Royale Curios and Curiosities, and you may be saying, well, I thought it was the Port Royale Jazz Club. Yeah, it was for like a minute. The old gift shop here was gutted. They replaced it with tables and chairs. They put in a big old table right here in the middle of the store where people could sit down and eat or whatever and just rest. And that was up for maybe a couple months, and then they put the gift shop right back in here again. And it almost looks identical, like literally identical to what it was before. Maybe not quite as full, but the old cash wrap is back. The merchandise is still Nightmare Before Christmas. Even the decoration and all this up here, they brought all that back. So it's pretty much exactly how it was before. It's like it never happened. The question is why, right? Why would they do that? And I don't know, actually. I don't know why they would take it down to begin with. Why bother if they're just going to put it right back? Now, the reason why I think they brought it back is because they want to sell Nightmare merchandise. Halloween season's coming up in August. August 22nd is the first day of the Halloween season, and Leota's is not big enough, I don't think, to handle the demand. Or maybe there was more demand for Haunted Mansion and Nightmare merch than, or maybe they underestimated the amount of demand for the combined demand for this, for Nightmare merch and Haunted Mansion merch. That shop is too small. Leota's gift shop is too small for the Halloween season, perhaps. Now, whether or not that was always the plan, I don't know. If it wasn't, I get why they did it. But if it was, I just don't know why they would bother. That gift shop did fine. It did fine as a gift shop before, and it was doing fine while being open at the same time as Leota's Summer Beyond. So if that was the plan, I think that they underestimated demand, actually. But we'll see. We'll see what happens after the Halloween season is over in January. We'll see if they put it back and they try to make that seating again, because I mean, it just seems pointless. Like, go through all that trouble and effort and time and expense. Just leave it as a gift shop again, unless you have other plans. But that I don't think there is another plan in terms of, let's say, maybe expanding a kitchen or just some other kind of thing, because they're going to run into the same situation again when August comes around and they got to start selling Haunted Mansion merch and Halloween merch, and they don't have enough space. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
They don't have enough space at Leota's. Leota's is too small. And speaking of Royal Street Veranda, let's head over here and get some lunch. I want some lunch in New Orleans Square today. Dining today at the Royal Street Veranda. I had designs on perhaps trying out the snack size Monte Cristo again. I felt like doing that, but then I saw on the menu, that's right, they've got a new menu item at Royal Street Veranda, something I haven't tried before, something that really has my curiosity, and that's the buffalo chicken beignet slider. Can you imagine those 4 words together? A beignet slider with buffalo chicken in it? I'm sorry, I've never heard of such a thing. Fried chicken, good start, dipped in buffalo sauce, so it's going to be spicy, and creamy slaw, which I love. By the way, slaw on a buffalo sauce is great for me. And then here's the twist: it's served on a Mickey-shaped beignet with powdered sugar and everything. So it's, I'm a big fan of sweet and savory. I think that's great. I love that, but I've never done it in such a way as this. So I have to say I'm low key not optimistic that I'm going to enjoy this. But I want to know. I need to know. I've got to find out what this is like. And look at that. There it is. It's a big piece of chicken. Look at that. In between 2 beignets. Okay, I mean, let's just get into this. As I was saying, it's like those things, you've seen those burgers served on a donut, on a glazed donut. It's kind of like that. But that is very spicy. But I didn't get a lot of the powdered sugar, so I'm not getting a lot of the sweet on that sweet and savory deal. So far, obviously, I mean, you look at the size of that thing, you can imagine this is dominating the entire bite. However, I will say that the coleslaw is a real disruptor in the flavor package that's going on here, because there's a lot. The beignet's got its sort of donut type flavors. I'm not really, the powdered sugar isn't presenting very much. The sweetness of a beignet is not presenting very much, but I am getting the beignet. The chicken's very strong, but that coleslaw is actually getting in between those 2 things coming together. So I'm not really getting a sweet and savory, like, Remy moment from Ratatouille. I'm not getting that kind of thing. It's just 3 different flavors. And so I mean, I'm enjoying each individually, but I'm not sure that they're coming together as a single symphonic taste, as a bite. I think I really would have preferred, if I had the opportunity, like when you get a bag of beignets, there's just way too much powdered sugar in there, and you have to shake the bag up to get it everywhere, and you want that beignet just covered in sugar, powdered sugar, and that's when it's best. You don't get that opportunity. Matter of fact, after having handled this for a little bit, there's no powdered sugar on there at all. It's gone. It's all at the bottom of my little tray here. So basically it's just the chicken sandwich now. Which again, on its own, not bad at all. It's a good piece of chicken, and the flavors are good on the buffalo sauce, but I'm not getting, as I mentioned, I'm not getting that thing of foods coming together. By the way, this big ass piece of chicken in between a beignet is $12, which I'm shocked that it's that inexpensive, considering the chicken bite. Well, the beignets. Well, let's see, what's one beignet? A 3-pack of beignet is like $6, right? So this is the $2 beignet that I'm holding, which makes the chicken $9. Could you get that piece of chicken? I'm just kind of surprised that they're charging as little as they are. They probably could have charged more. So the value is good. This will definitely fill me up. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to finish this. And that's a good sized piece of chicken on there. By the way, I hedged my bet a little bit on this lunch, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like that chicken sandwich. And since it was so affordable, I picked up some of those baked cheesy biscuits that we tried before. What was it, last summer? I mean, it's been a while. Cheesy biscuits with sharp cheddar and Cajun cheese brushed with garlic butter. And of course, you have to get the Cajun cheese sauce to go with it. These were fantastic. It's the cheesy butter or cheese sauce that really wins. These are fantastic. Yes, sir. Outstanding. Royal Street Friend is like a little secret weapon of great food. The biscuits are great. That sandwich was pretty good, and I think some people are going to like it more than I did. And then there's obviously the snack size Monte Cristo, which was, delicious and legendary as a sandwich. So secret weapon there at Royal Street Veranda. We are heading further into New Orleans Square with our last stop being Haunted Mansion, which is closing soon. Haunted Mansion will be closing on August 9th, which is less than a month away. We're less than 4 weeks away now from that closing. It's going to close for a couple of weeks so they can install the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. Again, we're talking about Leota's, we're talking about Royal Street Veranda or Port Royal Curios. The Halloween season is almost here. We are a month and 10 days away from the actual beginning of the Halloween season, and it's going to start more or less when they close this. By the time they close this, they'll also start having Halloween merchandise in the parks, and that's going to kick things off. So look for that happening. Haunted Mansion is going to close on August 9th. As for today, it's posted at 25 minutes. This is one of those opposites. It is not 25. It's posted 25, but you can see that it looks a little sticky. Well, unless that's the back of the queue right there. It is. Oh no, it is the back of the queue. Oh, that could work out real nice, actually. Yeah, because there's nobody in Leota's garden back there. They're just turning. Sorry, guys. They're just turning left and then making a U-turn and heading right back up to the mansion. That's outstanding. Yeah, look at that, confirmed. No guests walking back here. No guests on the other side of the wall. No guests out here in the greenhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, Haunted Mansion is a go situation. We are 4 for 4 now. Everything is a go on this Friday afternoon. While we're at it, so is the Disneyland Railroad. There's, their train is just now leaving, but you're definitely going to be on the next train. It is often the case. It has been where the queue would go down the stairs, and it wasn't that long ago we saw the queue out here into the common area in New Orleans Square. But you're gonna wait. You're gonna get on the next train, and then with seats to spare, no waiting for beignets or limited waiting here at the Mint Julep Bar. Tell you what, that sandwich has me low-key wanting actual beignets now because I didn't get hardly any of that powdered sugar, man. Let's go check in on Madame Leota's. I'm going to show you guys. A lot of drama about this location, this gift shop, and the merits of its design. But it certainly is pulling a lot of guests in here still. It's been open for a while, and you can still barely walk through here. It's very busy. There's constant action here. And as you can see, it is just way too small to hold both the Haunted Mansion merch and the Nightmare Before Christmas merch. So they definitely had to do something, I think. They have to have those. They have a section over here. They do, but this is not enough, you guys. This is just not enough. Let me see if I can't work my way over here. They have this little corner right here, and this will stay here, I'm sure. But this is not going to be enough to handle the demand. for that Nightmare overlay merch. Something had to be done. And I'd put a $5 on it that come January, it stays as a gift shop and does not go back to a seating area. Because again, I do think that they miscalculated the demand for that merch, and then they're gonna, because there's just, why bother going all through all that, time and expense, like I mentioned, to restore it back to a seating area just to bring it back a few months later for Nightmare. I don't know. Bayou Country is next, and I hear the riotous sounds. There it is. Of guests enjoying Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This crowd seems pretty healthy right here. Okay, well, I think we found the missing guests. Wow, Bayou Country's cranking right now. Wow, that's really intense. Okay, so Tiana says 50 minutes on the posted wait sign, and the garden is completely full, which is not a good sign. Usually that's the last section of queue space that they fill. So that doesn't agree really with the 50-minute. By the way, can we just say congratulations, Disney, on this conversion from Critter Country to Bayou Country, because while the rest of the park is dead, Bayou Country and Tiana's is still cranking. Relatively speaking, this land and this attraction is crushing the rest of the park. Absolutely crushing the rest of the park. This is, I don't know if this is a go or no go yet, because this attraction is always busy, but I think one thing that we can observe, and I'm trying to be as impartial as I can, it's not a fail. They haven't destroyed or ruined anything. This attraction is cranking, and that's how I measure success. It's like the conversation of Bugs Land versus Avengers Campus. You can decide, you can like Avengers Campus less than you liked Bugs Land. You can prefer Bugs Land, but the proof is in the amount of guests that are in there, the amount of people that are eating in there, the amount of people that are buying merch, and how much merch they're buying. It's crushing. And so this is not a fail. Bayou Country is not a fail, and neither is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Okay, so they're not using Extended 2. In the past, I've seen where they would fill up Extended 2 before they'd fill up the garden, and it looks like, are they shrinking or growing? I think they're growing. I think. They're about ready to do a little something. So just section 1 is in use, and actually it's not that dense. They haven't even filled in that little corridor down there. That's not full. This lane is not full. So you could probably call this a 50-minute queue safely, maybe even less. Even though the garden is full, this particular queue is not at all impacted. It's not at all dense. It hasn't closed up. It might even be less than 50 minutes. I think I want to go check out Critter Club now, because that is, I mean, a beautifully designed gift shop, and it seems like every time I go through here, it's packed with guests trying to buy merch. Lewis's Critter Club. Look at that, just beautiful. Yeah, busy as heck in here. And I have to say, I do think I prefer the theming of this to the old, Pooh Corner theming that they had that was throughout the entire gift shop. This side was also Pooh themed. I think this is a good move, especially if you're going to make it Bayou Country, obviously. But I like having, two different themes here. You've got your Tiana's theme, and again, beautifully done. And then you've got your Winnie the Pooh theme in here, which this gift shop for me has always been kind of legendary. Like, hi. I've always been in love with Pooh Corner, and I'm glad that it's, it's still here and still doing its thing. This is a delightful, fun, whimsical gift shop. Love it in here. By the way, how's Winnie the Pooh doing? It seems like every time we come by here, Winnie the Pooh is closing down, but it's up right now. The water's not, the waterfall's not running, so we're not getting a current, so you can't play Pooh sticks. Actually, look at that, it's dried up. The water ends at that little, I don't know what you call that rocky bridge, or not bridge, dam. Maybe to fill that thing up with water again. The queue looks good. Looks breezy. We could get this done in probably maybe 5 minutes. Right, there's nothing out here in this section. Just the one queue. The guests come in, they make a right, and then they follow the path. That's a straight shot into the ride vehicle, probably about a 5-minute wait. And that is precisely what they're calling it, a 5-minute wait at Winnie the Pooh. There goes the Mark Twain. We still got ours. I shouldn't mock, but I mean, I'm so grateful. So grateful that we still have our Mark Twain. We just spent, a week in Florida. Well, 4 days in the park, 6-day trip. And we got to go on the last ride at Liberty Bell. Big deal, big deal. I just can't believe they're doing what they're doing to the rivers of America. I will say, I don't think it's possible to do anything like that here. I know that there's concern that they might, and I've still got like a 20%. Oh gosh, because I remember talking about that thing over there, Big Thunder. Watch our last construction report, and I'll probably be talking about it again in this week's construction report. I've heard rumors about something happening on the other side, the old track along the river. They might be up to something there. Look at section 4. Down or gone, nothing there, nothing in section 3, smattering of guests in section 2. Rise is looking good. Yeah, I just don't think it's possible. You need the river for many other parts of the operations here for the park. It connects to, it connects the old dark water system. It's all connected. But even more important, I don't think it's physically possible for them to build there. It's a big enough space for something, but I don't think it's big enough to be anything worthwhile. And again, I feel like there's a reasonable chance that they simply are not capable of building there. They're stuck with Tom Sawyer Island. I mean, even if they wanted to, put something in there, they couldn't. In much the same way, they can't. People keep asking, they have all that space in Florida. Why do they have to take the river when they've got all that land that they own? Not all of that land is improvable. You can't. There are certain parts of the swamp that is just you can't build anything on there. It would just sink. Not to mention that there's also a limit to how much they can expand. Part of the agreement that they have with the city or with the state is that a certain percentage has to be kept as is preserved, I should say. So I'm not sure how that factors. But suffice it to say, in the conversation I've had with others, they had to have an absolutely incredibly good reason to do what they did in order to take that kind of risk, to kill such a historic and monumental and purposeful part of Walt Disney World, for them to do that and put in a Cars-themed land, which is just unforgivable to some guests. To take that risk and to make that move, to pull that trigger, they must have had an unbeatable reason, a reason beyond anything that we can possibly comprehend. It's possible, like the island was sinking. You know what I mean? Like it was gonna go away. They were gonna have to destroy it anyway, so they might as well. And if that's the case, I wish they would just say it. They won't. I don't know why, but you know what? Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I don't know. But I just feel like there are reasons that we may not be able to comprehend. As for the post that it says 65, it's not. That is wait, I retract that statement. I retract that. That queue is not a 65-minute queue. But the reason, this is wild. Look at that. That's Lightning Lane, you guys. Usually this is empty. There are 200 people in that queue, at least, maybe 300. It is very rare, especially on a not busy day. It's not at all busy in the park today, and yet you've got this. This is so counter to what we've seen in the rest of the park, to the point where I simply cannot comprehend what I'm looking at. I don't know, man. Unless there was a breakdown, there might have been maybe multiple breakdowns even, where people had bought Lightning Lane and they're rushing, but I don't know. That is incredibly weird. I can't even pretend to know what's going on there at Rise of Resistance versus what's happening in the rest of the park where everything that we've seen has been a go situation. I would even call Tiana's back there. That was a go. Obviously, Winnie the Pooh is always a go, no matter what. But I don't think I would get in that queue right now. Not with that lightning lane. No way. Which brings us to the marketplace. Docking Bay 7. Let's take a look at that tip board. Well, what do you know? Docking Bay 7 was full. There was no place to sit. I'm down here in the kind of the crossover from the garage. So that's okay. Lots of shade. It's breezy here. We're good. Let's take a look. Alice in Wonderland, 25 minutes. That's kind of high, actually, considering what we've been seeing throughout the park. Oh my goodness. Let's populate that tip board, please. Okay, Astro Orbiter, 20 minutes, standard. Remember we were here 2 weeks ago? Well, a little more than that now. And it was 60 minutes. 20 now. 20. Autopia 10, virtual walk-on, nice. Return time of now-ish. Big Thunder, it's open, yay. 15 minutes. 15? Are you serious? Is that even real? I can't remember the last time I've seen Big Thunder at 15 minutes at 1:30 in the afternoon. Buzz Lightyear's a walk-on at 10 minutes, 1:35 return time. Casey Jr.'s 5. That should still be under refurb though, so that's a real 5-minute wait. And by refurb, I mean they're down to 1 train still, I think. I think that's begun, or has it? I can't remember now. Populate, my goodness. Okay, where were we? Chippendales is 45 minutes, but Big Thunder's 15. Make it make sense. This is where we would talk. There's something about Big Thunder. Or maybe you know what? It probably, you know what that could be. It could be just coming off a breakdown. I bet you by the time we get there, it's up to 30, 45. Has to be. I just can't believe that there's only a 15-minute wait. It has to be coming. And by the way, if that's the case, another breakdown for Big Thunder. I mentioned we just started. Hey, look, it's open. Dumbo, 20 minutes. Nemo, 30, solid, good. Haunted Mansion, 35. It went up a little bit from before. That 25 minutes was definitely a come and join the Haunted Mansion for sure. Indiana Jones, 35 minutes. Still, we may not get to test a single rider. I was hoping we'd get to test it, but we'll see. It's supposed to, I was told to come back later. We'll check in on that. Small World, 10 minutes. Jungle Cruise, 10. Carousel, 5. Tea Party, 5. Winnie the Pooh, 5. Runaway Railway, 30. Solid. Smugglers Run, 35. That's light. Smugglers Run is always a beast. Peter Pan, 25. 25 for Peter Pan. Pinocchio's 5. Pirates, 20. Not even that. I'm sure it's less than 20. Roger Rabbit is 40 minutes. I mean, that's incredible for Roger Rabbit to see it at that low. And then Snow White's closed. Space Mountain's closed. And by the way, Matterhorn is closed. Did we pass it? Is it even on the app right now? Yeah, it's not even on the app. Matterhorn is also closed, so that's 2 e-tickets that are closed, and we're still seeing low wait times like that. 2 major e-tickets that just consume guests. Those guests have to be somewhere else in the park now doing other things, so the wait time should be a little higher even. Rise is at 50, so it came down. So what happened is they pushed all that lightning lane out, they got that done, and now the queue is operating normally. So that's why the time went down. And then Storybook Land, 10, Walk On. Tiana's 55. But I would say that's, by the way, a 7. Dude, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, way to go. Again, way to go, Tiana. Love to see it. It's hanging in there. I love it. 7-hour return time. And there you go. Take care. It's not at all busy out there today. What's up, Luke? Okay. Let's go verify some of those wait times that we just saw on the tip board, starting with Smugglers Run. We saw that at what, 35? Oh yeah, okay. I was like, I was like, when are you gonna see Smugglers Run at 35 minutes? Well, not 10 minutes from then. It's it's not even been 60 minutes, it says right there. That says 60. which by the way is a huge call to action to stay away, considering how, what's happening in the park today, considering it's not a very busy day. You have plenty of other things you can do than go to Smugglers Run for 60 minutes. And with all those options available to you, I wouldn't even come to Galaxy's Edge. There's no reason to even be here. If you could do a bunch of other things. Oh, wow. Okay, so this reconciles with what I thought I heard somebody say when I was walking around. That is a very impacted queue. Seeing that right here is just definitely turn around and walk away, which I'm seeing guests do. And what I thought I heard is a cast member said that it's broke down. It's not all the way broke down, but some of the pods are, which we've talked about in the past. It's impossible to know when that happens, like unless you literally ask a cast member, say, are they running, full capacity? Which I don't know if that's something that you're comfortable with doing, but that's something that you can ask. Like, I don't know if you do it out front or if you do it inside the queue. So I'm going to actually do that right now. On our way out of here, I'm going to ask if they'll tell me how fully operational they are. Confirmed, they are not fully operational right now. Some of the ride vehicles are down. They've been having some issues throughout the afternoon. So you could pretty much, if you see a situation like this, where what you're seeing in the queue just does not jive with what's happening in the park, especially if you see a big jump from 35 minutes to 60 minutes, that means they have cut their capacity in half probably. It's like Soarin'. If you see Soarin' go from 40 minutes to 80 minutes, that's because they lost a theater. So that doubles your wait time. We just saw it go from 35 to 60. They lost probably a whole pod at least. Oh no. Kylo's here. Oh, that CM is going for it. Or actor. Nice.
Someone has information, sir. I will get it.
No, Lieutenant. I will get it. You are dismissed. Troopers.
Yes, sir.
Disney, we need more like that. More of that. Get us some more characters out here. Get us some more show. Get us some more live performers, actors, not cast members doing performances. That's why I had to correct myself back there. I called her CM. She's not. She's an actor. More of that. We need more in Galaxy's Edge. Bring this place to life. Hi guys, how are you? Hi. Fantasyland is next. I see one train on the track. We're at the station for Casey Jr. By the way, this is light right here. This is very manageable, this little bit of crowd. Oh, wow, 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 guys, look at that. What? Heavens to Murgatroyd. Wow. And if you're not sure what I'm wowing about, it's concrete. Open concrete. I speak to, there are certain things that I use to measure how busy it is in the park. You can tell, because sometimes it always feels like it's busy. Like, Disneyland, it's always busy. There's always people everywhere. But there are signs. And seeing that much concrete, this much concrete, open space, seeing this in this part of Fantasyland is an absolute rarity. Other things like how much do you have to move from side to side? Like, do you have to move out of the way of guests? That's another sign. Oh, I was out of frame there. But this is just, look it, and there's no strollers. Wow. And it is summer. Kids are not in school right now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. No queue here at Casey Jr. And I think we're still just running the one. You know what? I can't help myself. Let's see. I have to know. Oh no, there are 2 trains. There are still 2 trains because one just left the station, and in a second we'll see another one come around, I believe. There it is. The number 9. Hi, Casey. I was recently on the For Your Amusement podcast, and we were ranking our favorite trains at Disneyland. I made this one number 2. And I was going to have a fight with the host because they didn't agree with me. And I'm like, no, Casey Jr. is the best. And everybody, we had a real moment about talking about how wonderful Casey Jr. is and how you don't realize that it's unspoken. It's sort of like an unquantifiable feeling you have when you ride Casey. And you can just see the lights going on, especially in Ryan. And part of the conversation was riding in the rumble seat. That's what I call it anyway. So I'm going to see if I can't get that seat back there. Well, unfortunately, the rumble seat was occupied, but that's okay. We got my second favorite seat. It's the furthest back you can get without being in the actual caboose.
Casey Jr.'s coming down the track with the smoky stack. Good puffin' coming round the hill. Casey's here to thrill every Jack and Jill. Every time it's fun, everybody hurries to the circus grounds. Time for lemonade and Cracker Jack. Casey Jr.'s back. Casey Jr.'s back.
Comes to a complete stop. Now, as we say to the animals,
look at you guys, look at all the space out here in Fantasyland. My goodness, it's a miracle. This is incredible. This is what happens when you have a Tier 5 day and half the annual passes are blocked out. Pinocchio's is a virtual walk-on right there. Man. Look at the no strollers, you guys. Look at the no strollers out here. How is this possible? Okay, Snow White. That's fine, 10 minutes. Peter Pan, all these empty chains right here. Empty chain on the outside. They are using Merlin's little section over here, but this is an easy 30-minute wait right there. Easy 30 minutes. Wow. That's the thing that's getting me the most right now is the strollers. There's no strollers out here. Practically none. This is usually just infested with strollers right there. And then over there also at Dumbo. How could they? Hey guys, how are you? How could there be no strollers in both of those locations in the summer? Look at, oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay, where were we? Toads. And Toads is doing as usual. Hi, how are you? Pretty standard for Toads. That's probably 15 right there. Yep, posted 15. That is about 15, maybe less, maybe 10. Dumbo, oh my gosh. The Dumbo back of the queue, I think, is inside the organ. Let's just go walk back there real quick. It says 10. When is the last time you saw 10? You probably can't see that. When is the last time you've seen 10 minutes at Dumbo? And that's real. Look at this. Yeah, the back of the queue is inside the organ. Incredible. It's just this section here and that section right there. That's it. That's all of it. You're looking at maybe three or four rotations there, probably. 10 minutes. It might be 15, but still, that's an absolute victory. Go, 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 go. Everything's go. It's all go. The only no-goes we've seen so far are Smugglers Run and Rise. Go figure. Way to go, Galaxy's Edge, for having the two busiest rides in the park today, ish. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, probably right up there too. Marty's obviously a go. It's always a go. There's nobody. Oh my gosh. There's nobody in the queue. Look, nobody. These guests are getting in here. They're going to go get in a cup right now. They're getting in a cup. I think everybody in the queue right now, if they can get there in time, if they don't close the gate on them, will get a cup, I think. I see 1, 2, 3. I see at least 3 cups.
Welcome to the tea party, where everything.
Go for it, go for it, go for it. Go, 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 go. Go for it, go for it. You can do it, you can do it. You can do it.
Seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside while your teacup is spinning. And please do watch the children.
I gotta find out now. Okay, there's. So what I think I saw it. It was about these. This guest right here was the last one in. And I think there's one more cup. The blue and the orange, and I saw another one somewhere. Oh, there you go. And that's it. This might be the slowest day I've seen in a long while, in quite some time. Oh, there you go. There's something a little more normal. The Alice queue. Although as I'm looking at the inner part there, that looks a little loose, not quite as compacted as it usually is, so it's not even as long as it looks. But that's 10 minutes right there. That's a 10-minute queue for Alice right now. Story continues at Storybook Land. Wow. Like for real. Anytime you're inside of that right there, you're good. But you're not. You're inside of that, and you're inside of that, and they're not even using this switchbacks over here, these chains. Hi guys, hello. This is not even 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes probably. You're in there before you even know it. What an absolute golden day to be at Disneyland today. Incredible. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have to tell you, I rode Small World for the first time at Magic Kingdom last week. I kind of loved it. Obviously this out here, all this is way better than what they have. Our exterior is a work of art. It's an absolute majestic creation. I am not gonna lie, I really enjoyed how, like, it's just bigger inside. It's different. It's both bigger and more intimate. You could just reach out and touch some of those animatronics. You're right there, and it's happening. I feel like you're in a corridor when you're on our Small World. You're kind of going through this corridor, and things are on your left or your right. But when you're going through Small World there, it feels like things are in front of you and just all around you. I'm not sure if that was just a figment of my imagination or what, but I really, really enjoyed my Small World experience at Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is probably the most underrated park Disney has, and I hear people talk about how that's not, they don't like it. I think Magic Kingdom is spectacular. Look at that, man. No guests in the queue right now. You could walk straight on. Literally, those guests are going to make a left onto the bridge and they'll be on a boat in probably 2 minutes. You know what? I'm going to find out. Let's see. Let's just follow these guests right here. This family. I'll bet you it's 2 minutes. Which in fact they were. Everybody's on their boat. In their boat in 2 minutes. Oh, look. Bert was acting a fool over here. I guess we missed it though. He was doing a little march along with the Pearly Band. Oh, here it comes. All eyes on Mary. Let's go to Toontown. We saw a very advantageous looking time of 40 minutes on the tip board earlier. It is blank now. Is this attraction open? Could be not open, although usually there would be a cast member out here saying as much. Are y'all open? Okay. Closed it is. Yeah, okay, she was just getting to the doors there. So that should send most or all of that action to Runaway Railway. Will it translate? It's posted 30 right now. Yeah, it did. I think. No, maybe not.
If you look at the store parking, it's going to be right over there. Like where they
Wow. How far can we get? I'm betting the second prop room at least. They're not even sending us around the first prop room and taking us straight to the right. Hi. Yeah, I guess they're slowing down a bit. So yeah, there it is, second prop room. Called it. I need to study my brain when I'm dead. That's hilarious. I mean, it still pops out here though. Toontown still pops. Lots of folks walking the streets right now, but it's just, you know, slightly less than usual still. I can walk pretty freely through this zone, which is always, this is one of the densest places in the entire park, is this stretch right here from Runaway Railway to Gadget's Coaster, which incredibly we saw a 45-minute wait on the tip board before, which I just find that hard to believe. And it is operational now. I see trains on the track, guests going. It's 30 minutes now. It's now posted at 30. 30 would be about Chip's butt. That's my guess. 30 would be Chip's butt. So it's way less than that. I can't even see. Oh, there's the back of the queue. It's about that frog right there. So it's probably 20, if that, yeah. So I have to wonder now, like, I think I've asked this question before. How does the math work out? So yeah, it's definitely slower than it normally is, and Disney could sell more tickets if the prices were cheaper or something like that, or if they let in more. Well, the Magic Keys are in. There's no blockouts right now, so those guests are in. But they could sell more tickets if the prices were cheaper. But what gets them more money? Is it fewer guests at a higher price, or more guests at a slightly lower price? Let's just say $20. Let's say if it wasn't, you know, I feel like that's enough to inspire people. 20 bucks. Sell a ticket at $175 instead of $195 or something like that. How many more tickets would they sell? I know that there's guys out there, there's brains out there working for Disney that have already done that math. And I guess what I'm asking is this what they wanted? Is this where they want to be? I don't mind, I guess. Well, as a Magic Key holder, obviously. But as a single day guest buying or paying $195 for the ticket, I wonder where they're at. You'll hear me say often that I love a busy park. I love it when it's busy at Disneyland, but not because I like crowds. I actually don't like crowds. I have a fear and anxiety about being in crowded places. But the reason why I like it is that it's a symbol. It's symbolic of both people's love of Disneyland and their desire to be here, that they're into it, and people are ready and willing to play and have a good time. Hi guys, all right. It's very meaningful in terms of the mindset of guests, how happy they are, and just and how well things are going for Disney. The park is busy. That's a good sign, both like I said, on Disney's part and in terms of the economy. A busy theme park is a very good symbol of the strength of the economy, in my opinion. At least that's the way I see it. I mean, I am not an economist, although my degree is in finance. I have forgotten everything I learned just about in college. I forgot almost all of it. I'm pretty good at math, but that's about it, But that's where, that's my area of consideration, I guess. And they are still going. Bringing us to the Matterhorn. Great news, the Matterhorn is opening on July 24th. There goes the monorail. He might have been waiting for a duck or for the monorail to leave the station. But yeah, July 24th, the Matterhorn is reopening. I have seen clips on social of them testing ride vehicles, so definitely they're done doing whatever it is that they were doing, and they are now just in the hi guys, in the testing phase to make sure that the ride is operating as it should, so that's good. 24th, by the time you see this, that's going to be about 10 days, I think, maybe 11. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get this video out, but yeah, we're in good shape here for the Matterhorn. I've been watching and listening since I got into the neighborhood, and I have not seen or heard any bobsleds being tested, so I don't think that they're in a testing mode right now, so we won't be able to see anything, but I think we are looking good for that July 24th. Oh, well, I take that back. I just heard cast over the intercom there. They may be doing some, oh, did you hear that? Did you hear it? I know I'm using my mic, so you may not have, but I did. Wow, you guys, seriously. Awesome, awesome. Love to see it. That's like a 20-minute wait, maybe, for Nemo right there. More dead space out here in Tomorrowland. Just a smattering of guests. Guys, I'd be willing to bet that the Autopia is probably about a 10-minute wait. No reason for it to be any more than that, because just like with Smugglers Run, you've got no reason to be here unless the park is smashed. This attraction only gets busy when the rest of the park is smashed. If you've got other things you can do, you move Autopia down to the bottom of your list, typically. Well, other guests do. I would ride right now. 5 minutes. Look at that. It's not even in the risers. That's the back of the queue up there. That's it. 5 minutes. Go up, make a left, turn right back around, make a U-turn, and you'll be in your vehicle in 5 minutes. All 4 lanes open. Absolutely ready to go. We got 2 true tests left to see, just how slow it is today, and that's Space Mountain and Big Thunder. You'll recall at Big Thunder, we saw it at 15 on the tip board. I'm like, that's not gonna last. That's probably post-breakdown. By the time we get there, it'll be at its usual 30, 40 minutes. So we'll see about that. I don't wanna peek. I'm not gonna peek. I don't wanna look at the tip board and see. We're gonna get there and get surprised. I rode Space Mountain at Tomorrowland and Magic Kingdom twice on my last trip. I love their Space Mountain so much. That's 40 minutes. It was at 35, I think, when we checked the tip board. So it hasn't like exploded since then. 35 is an absolute call to action, which tells me that the park is just not hitting today. It's just not here. They're not here. 35 minutes at Space Mountain, even on a slow day in the park, slower day anyway, should be a call to action to get in here. I would be getting in this queue on a regular basis if I was a Space Mountain Space Mountain fan. You'd hardly ever see it like this, hardly ever. Lots of tables at Pizza Planet. End of the day, guys, I'm getting winded. I'm getting winded. Nothing much to speak of in Lightning Lane. The last 3 State of reports, we've seen huge queues out here in the absolute no-go zone. If you see a queue outside that interior queue space there, the extended interior, that's a turn around and come back later. There are guests coming out the door, so they are in there. It's just a question of how many. Oh, it's pretty busy in there actually. Obviously not as busy as it has been, but this is still a good sized queue. They're using all of Extended 1, most of this little stretch here that runs parallel with the Starcade, and then a little bit here in section 2. I consider this all one section, but you can see there's a visible difference, but I consider this all one section. So that's still a good 40 minutes for sure. The door right here is about an hour. If the back of the queue is at that door, you're looking at least an hour, give or take, depending on how much Lightning Lane is being used. Wow, this is really trippy. I just walked into Star Tours. Star Tours is closed, has been for about a week now at least. But it's just so strange. It's eerie seeing this space without a queue, without guests, but also even without the stanchions. It's so naked. Like there should at least be stanchions here, ropes, you know what I mean? But it's just empty right here. Wow. Speaking of empty, that's your entire queue right there. That's your entire standby queue for Buzz Lightyear. Outside, I mean. They're just going right in. What? I can't even get my head around this. It's considerably longer to ride Astro Orbiter right now. That's a pretty standard queue, 15 minutes or so. Considerably longer than it is to ride Buzz Lightyear. And finally, Frontierland. We'll check in on Big Thunder. Talked about earlier, posted a 15. Didn't feel like that was accurate. Probably post breakdown. Probably going to be closer to 30 is my guess when we get there. But what I'm not seeing are any guests out here in the extended queue. Usually on even a remotely busy day, this will be about half full typically. Hey, how are you? Good, good. But you got just that one stretch right there along, that's just a few minutes to get into the threshold. And once you're into the threshold, it's about 15, 20 minutes. So that means that the posted wait time should probably be in about the 30-minute range. There it is, exactly. 30 minutes. Yeah, the threshold right here, that is 15 to 20 tops, 20 tops in here. Especially on the lower end if there's not a lot of Lightning Lane happening, which there probably isn't today because it's not necessary. So that's like 15 minutes to get to the house from there or get to your vehicle. There you go.
A lot of fun.
Easy peasy. Stay tuned though for our construction coverage. I believe that Big Thunder's going to hit the refurb calendar soon. I believe it's going to be closing somewhere around August. So it might be a little too early yet for it to show up on the calendar, but it could be any day now, any week. It's 45 days. So if today is the 11th, 45 days is 56. So you're looking at the 21st. I think the refurb calendar should be somewhere around the 21st, plus or minus a day or two. And that's actually about where I would have thought Big Thunder would have hit the refurb calendar, or would be closed, I mean. So it could be any day. Matter of fact, they may already, and I just haven't noticed it. But this here's that space that I was talking about earlier where I'm kind of afraid. I'm afraid they might do something with this in the future. They might try to build something guest facing here, some kind. I don't know if it's going to be merch or dining, not an attraction. Yeah, I don't really think you could put an attraction here. That would be really awkward. Keep an eye on the construction reports that we do every Monday, because we'll be tracking that very closely when it starts. Show's not over yet though, guys. I came back to Indiana Jones Adventure like they suggested I should, and we are now going to get to test single rider here. It's just a test right now. They haven't decided yet, as we mentioned, whether or not they're going to do it, but we're going to test it right now. It is on as we speak. That's my pass. The first thing you want to do when you get here is to check with a cast member, make sure that they're doing it, because like I just mentioned, it's a test. They're not doing it all day, and they can run out. If they're open, if they're doing it, they'll give you one of these big fat pink lanyards that you wear around your neck, and they'll allow single riders for as many of these as they have in their possession. And then, hi guys. And then if they run out, you don't get in, and then they got to wait for other single rider guests to come out and bring them back. So we've got ours, so we're going to head into or through the exit. This is the same as you would do it before. You go through the exit and into the exit queue. And then at the end of this path right here, you can see kind of a little makeshift section. This is where you're going to split with the ADA guests. They will send you to the right. This is that path that runs alongside the screening room. Okay. This path here, you have to go to the screening room. This is why they're doing this now, so that you will see the safety spiel. Make sure you read this, because it's giving you some tips on what to do, like how to use a single rider, who can use it, and where and how. Basically, the key thing here is that your group is going to split up. If you go single rider, you're not going to go as your group. And then we post here for a bit. They send in a big batch of standby, and then they pause the standby queue, and they're going to send in a batch of single riders, like 10 at a time. So while I think they're holding now for standby. Standby's been roped, and I'm betting that single rider will be momentarily. And away we go. So the way they do this, they send them in batches so that they can identify the groups of single riders as they make their way in, and we sort of just blend in. So that's all standby right there. We're going to blend in with them momentarily, but they will be able to spot us when we get to the other side. And I was just advised single rider stays on the left-hand side.
Actually, please, lobby around here. Come on down, and lobby over here.
So they set us off to the side. They're going to wait for a spot to open up, which should be just moments, I'm sure. And indeed, a moment later, 11 minutes total to our vehicle using single rider.
Oh, my friend! The brakes may be needing a little adjustment, but easy on the curves.
You seek the future. I will lift the curtain of time. It is your destiny. Of the gates.
bad. Was it?
There you go. It's a little bit awkward. It's going to take some getting used to if they wind up going through with it. It's going to take some getting used to because there are you alternate between you're going in through the exit. There's no actual queue. You're just walking through the exit. Whereas other attractions have a more traditional queue for single rider, Incredicoaster, Matterhorn, Radiator Springs Racers. This one is you're kind of loose and in the wind a little bit, so it's kind of strange. But that's why you have to wear the lanyard so that they can easily spot you and they'll grab you and they'll point you if you look like you're going the wrong way, which I did for a second there. I got a little lost in there because it was so dark and I was paying attention to my camera and not what was in front of me. And then you mix in with standby like that for a minute. So that's your cue, is that little space that you're mixed in with standby. Then you go down the stairs and you get your own little pen. And it took a few minutes, maybe not even that, maybe a minute for them to find me a single rider seat. And we were from the threshold to the vehicle, it was 11 minutes. And that, by the way, was against a posted 40-minute standby, but look at this. Standby once more is a breeze. It's almost a walk-on. You probably won't have to wait much longer in standby right now than I just did for Lightning Lane, but that is, single rider, but that won't be the normal situation. Hey man, thank you. This is not standard, but this is great, by the way. Welcome, this is awesome, enjoy. And that, Fresh Baked, is our State of Disneyland report. Welcome back, David. Welcome back to Disneyland. Welcome back to the State of Disneyland report. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. We're going to be doing a State of DCA in just a couple more days. We'll be back here on Monday for that. Until then, we love you guys. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.